And I'm still thinking, what is going on? Is this for real? Okay, hey guys, welcome to the vlog. Can you see Brittany in the background?
Oh, hello.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the situation. First of all, there's a disclaimer. Well, two of them. I am actually recording this on my Mac, so I know that the video quality isn't all that great, but I've been meaning to tell everyone the story, and I got a bunch of messages asking me yesterday, okay, now that we're pregnant, can you please tell this story? I'm getting hung up on it a little bit because I still get choked up when I say pregnant. Oh my gosh. I know. It's so crazy. Woo! So anyway, the story... Oh, the other disclaimer is that Cari isn't here. This is Wednesday night, so I'm staying at Britta and Ray's house for the night. And Britta is actually in the background cooking chicken strips. So I'm really excited because I love chicken strips and I love Britta. So it's kind of a win-win.
Yeah.
There. And I got to get caught up on General Hospital. Lots of things happening today.
There's so much to catch up on.
Oh my gosh.
I can't just...
I haven't watched this show since I was a kid, but since I've been staying here since the beginning of school, I'm back at it. So, okay, the story time. Yes, I was pretty much arrested once.
Pretty much?
Yes, so I'm going to explain it. I'm going to tell it to Britta at the same time because she's never heard this story. So, a long time ago, I was staying at my mom and dad's house, and I did not realize that on Thursdays is garbage day. So, apparently, where my parents live, you are not allowed to park on the street during garbage day. Well, I didn't know this. In fact, I didn't even know that was a thing, and I think it's kind of silly. But whatever, I'm not in city planning. I don't know why. I get it. I get why maybe it's helpful. But, I mean, where the heck are you supposed to park if there's not any room in the driveway? And I don't believe in parking in the driveway and covering up the sidewalks because then what's going to happen to kids? Are they supposed to go in the street if they can't get around your car? Or adults or elderly people or dogs, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I don't think anyone should go in the street because some person decided to take up all the parking. So...
Why would you take up all parking?
Exactly. I mean, are you asking me that question or... Well, because if right now, if I parked behind you, I would fit in your driveway, but I would block the sidewalk.
Oh, I see.
In doing so. So anyway, apparently the night that I parked on the street, I got a ticket. Well, it also just so happened to rain that day. So when I came outside, this piece of paper that I did not see was a ticket on my car or whatever. And the story goes is that there's no way that the ticket blew off my car. I must have just missed it. Now this is coming from the cop. So now we need to fast forward to probably 9 months later. And I'm not even joking. I know it wasn't a year, but it was a long time after that. I was driving home. I was working for Blockbuster. I did a loss prevention. So basically I had to go in and work until 3, 4 in the morning and watch videotapes and see what people were doing in the store.
Like see who was stealing?
Basically, yeah. In a nutshell, and it was hardly ever customers. It was employees. I mean...
Oh, really?
Oh, it was horrible. And I hated it. And we had to write these reports. Was it me? No.
Can't write on yourself.
No, but I saw some things. I mean, I don't... Blockbuster is out of business now, so one day maybe I'll share a video of all the crazy things I've seen, when I was a Blockbuster employee. And I have a lot of friends still that could probably corroborate all of these stories. But anyway... I saw things. I was driving home on the highway, and I was probably about 45 minutes from home, and I noticed this SUV is following behind me. Now, the highway that it was on was a very lit highway because we were near an airport, and I noticed that I was pretty sure it was a cop. Now, I wasn't speeding, thankfully, because I know that I have a lead foot at times, but this time I wasn't speeding, and about 2 miles before my exit, the cop pulls me over. So I'm like, all right, I'm getting pulled over. I have no idea what I did. So the cop comes to the car, and I have nothing against police officers, guys. Just this particular police officer wasn't very friendly. I always feel like whenever I get pulled over, it's like the cops are playing a game with me. Well, do you know why I pulled you over, ma'am? No, I don't. Why don't you just tell me? Like, why don't you just come to the car and say, hey, I pulled you over because you were speeding? Or it's like I kind of feel like, you know what I mean? Like, are they trying to get me to tell them more things that I was doing wrong? You know?
Like liar.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, yeah. What did he say?
I was speeding through an intersection.
I changed lanes.
Without using a blinker.
Oh, and I have all these unpaid parking tickets. So I'm just saying, no, I have no idea. What did I do? And he said, well, I actually have a warrant for your arrest. And my throat dropped.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I'm like,
I would have started bawling.
I didn't cry, but I was so shocked. Like, I thought he was joking. Like, I looked around to see if Ashton Kutcher was in the background.
I'm getting bumped.
Yeah, like, I couldn't figure out a warrant for my arrest. I mean, I am pretty boring. And I'm like, what the heck am I getting a warrant? Like, why do I have a warrant? Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, all this time went by, which I'm sure was really only 15 seconds, but I already imagined myself in jail behind bars. I was like, what is going on? So I said, a warrant? What the heck? Why?
Right.
Oh, well, you have an unpaid fine. And I said, a fine for what? For parking on the street. And I said, okay. I said, I'm sorry. I have no idea why I have a warrant. Can you break it down to me like I'm 5 years old?
Right.
Like, what happened?
Right.
So he pulled up this piece of paper, so he must have printed something in his vehicle, and he said, well, on this day, such and such, which turned out to be a Thursday, you parked your car out front of here, which was my parents' address, and in that city, it's trash day, and you're not allowed to park on, the road. And I said, so I have a warrant? Like, and I'm trying to think, like, when was the last time I was at my parents' house? When did I park in the street? Because I never do. They always have enough room for me to park in the driveway, but apparently I ended up just doing it once. And it turned out this ticket for parking on the street, the fine was $8. But since $8, that's it. And I mean, at the time working for Blockbuster, I was making like double that.
Right.
And I'm like, an hour, like, are you serious? This is like a half an hour's worth of work. So I said, so what do I do? Do I just pay the fine? Oh, well, yeah, but it's $250 now.
What?
My throat dropped. Okay, sure, I was making good money.
But $250 is still a lot of money.
Hell yeah, it is. Now. Exactly. I don't even care. I mean, I'm going to school to be a doctor. Even when I get my doctorate, $250 is going to be a lot of freaking money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And he said, yeah, so I can take that in cash or I can take you to jail.
Whoa.
And then I just sat there for a minute. And he said, but anyway, this was all the pleasantry stuff. Before we get anything decided, I'm going to need to book you. And I'm still thinking, what is going on? Is this for real? So I'm in the middle of a highway. So he said, what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to pull over farther, and I'm going to watch you the whole way. And if you even think about going, you will go to jail for a long time. Right. So I'm like, sir, I'm not going to do anything. Right. So I pulled the car over more. I drove a little bit, pulled the car over. I get out of the car, and he, sure enough, takes me and does that whole cop thing. Pushes me right up against the car. He didn't gently say, okay, well, turn around and put your arms behind you.
Right.
He, forcefully pushed me. So I was like, okay, this is going to be great. So then he puts me over an $8 ticket. Exactly. So he puts me in cuffs. I was officially in handcuffs, and it was not for fun, folks. This was not a fun handcuff time. Which is just very depressing. Because handcuffs can be fun.
Well, yeah.
But not when a cop's standing behind you. So he leads me to his car. And remember, folks, SUV. So he opens the door and tells me to get in the car. So I got to stand up for this.
Flags ever.
Thank you. So here I am. I need to make sure you guys can see
You
me.
can't get an SUV with your eyes
Right.
out.
So in a regular SUV, okay, I still have to kind of get like a running, like I gotta get some momentum behind me because
Yeah,
the SUV, this was a police SUV. So it was taller.
You've got tiny little legs.
Right. So I remember the SUV, the seats being like right here on me, which, fine. So I looked at the cop and I said, "Sir, do you have like a step stool or can you maybe undo one of my arms?" "No, you're just going to have to get in the car." So I said, "Okay." How? So I just stood there for a minute trying to figure out how do I do this? I can't get my leg up to even get it in the car, and I'm like trying to kick, I'm trying to, and he's looking at me like, "Well, I guess this is a problem for you."
Obviously.
So I'm like, "Okay." So I stand there for a minute and I'm like, "Sir, can I take 2 steps back?" I was very polite with the police officer and I asked before I did anything and he said, "Sure." So I took 2 steps back and these were big steps because here's my step now. I'm a little tubby. I'm not making fun of myself, Craig. I'm just saying I'm tubby, so my steps are different. Cari, she takes 5 steps and she'd be at the neighbor's house. Me, I'd still be in the living room. You know what I mean? So I take 2 steps back and then I just leap into the car. So here I am on the seat. My legs are sticking out. It's got to be like one of these like situations where my legs are just like this. So I do this worm trying to shimmy into the car. And I get in there and then I'm laying in there and he shuts the door. So my body is laying on the seat and my legs are all contorted. So then I was stuck on the seat, like laying like this. Okay. So I had to then roll again to get back up. So, okay. So now I'm in the cop car, and he says to me, he goes through all the stuff, and he said, "I know I already told you all that stuff, and that was out of courtesy, but we're really going to need to collect that $250. So I said, "Okay, I guess if that's what I have to pay." He didn't even give me the opportunity to fight the ticket. So is that legal? I have no idea. But at this time, being scared, being in the back of a cop car.
I would have just done whatever.
I was just like,
terrifying.
So, of course, the first thing I asked him was, "Well, isn't there like a system that I can maybe go talk to a judge about this? It just seems kind of weird to have to just pay." And he said, "Well, it's different when there's a warrant. It means we've already tried to contact you." And I said, "Sir, I guarantee to you that I have never received anything.
Right.
Do you think he thought I was being snotty, but I said, do people really like try to get out of an $8 parking fee when they know they could have a warrant for their arrest?
Right.
$8, Like, heck no."
Right.
So he said, "Well, ma'am, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just here to collect money. But if you don't have it, what I'll do is, since this ticket took place in such and such, and I happen to be on the other side of the state, you know what they do for people like that? They drive them from sheriff station to sheriff station because that police officer's jurisdiction is only as far as where he works to the next town over. So he said in order to get to the downriver area, it would probably take me 2 days to get there because each cop has to find the time to drive you to the next.
Another sheriff's
So I was like, okay. Well, I don't know about you, but again, I've already said $250 is a lot of money.
I don't have that in cash, usually just laying around.
I don't either. And guess what?
Would he take you to a bank?
You have to pay it with cash, too. You can't give him a debit card. You can't write a check.
Right, but would he take you to an ATM?
So I said to him, I said, "Sir, I don't have cash with me. Can we go to the nearest..." Did you call it ATM? Can we go to the nearest... I think I called it green machine because I had just been in Canada. And I was maybe trying to be a smartass. I don't know. But anyway, he said, "Well, if you're telling me that you have the money there, then that's fine. But if I get there and you don't have the money, I'm going to arrest you." And I'm like, "Well, I'm already in the back of the cop car."
Push my luck, I guess.
So he allows me to get into my car. He unhandcuffed me. So I was able to climb out of the SUV. And guess what happened when I climbed out?
Did you fall?
I fell. So I can get into the back of the car with my hands tied, but I can't get out with them untied. Yeah, exactly. So he follows me, and not only just follows me, gives me a police escort 2 miles down the highway.
Wow.
And we pull into this creepy gas station where the lights flickering.
Yeah.
It was like something out of like Joyride or wrong turn, whatever. Candy cane. Hey, candy cane. So I go in there, I give him the money, and I have to get back in the police car.
Well, yeah.
He can't just take the money from me. So I said, "Sir, are you going to cuff me again?" And I had $250. Well, actually, I think it was $260 because it's $20. So he said, I had to go buy something because he couldn't give me change. So I had to buy a candy bar for $20, and it was at night. Remember, it was 4 a.m.
Creep.
So the guy at the gas station was like, "Well, we're really not supposed to break 20s." And I said, "Sir, you gotta work with me."
Don't break this 20.
No, he ended up making me spend $10. He said, "Well, we have a policy at night." So guess what I bought? Like 7 or 8 Snickers bars.
Hey.
So thank you, cop. So anyway, I paid him the money, and he gave me a receipt for paying the money. He said, "You better carry this with you, and it's going to show up on your record for the next 4 weeks or so that you have a warrant."
That is crazy. So wait, even though you
Yeah.
paid it, it didn't get off your record?
I guess it takes X amount of time, and this was back in, I want to say like 2007-ish. So it's probably way different. Oh yeah, that was about 10 years ago.
Oh
Yeah,
my god. How was 2007 10 years ago?
I know, right? Man, that really made me think. Man, 10 years ago, I would not think I would be a mother. Whew. Anyway, so that's my story of pretty much being arrested. Apparently, it doesn't show up on your record, so it'll never show that I was actually arrested, but I was in the back of a cop car. It was uncomfortable. I don't ever want to be in the back of a cop car again.
Can we talk
Yeah.
about how many vehicles you've fallen out of?
We could. I just don't even know if that's... Yeah, that'll be for another vlog. Yeah. One time I fell out of a vehicle next to a mud pile and landed right in the mud. And I had green pants on. That's what I get from wearing green pants.
I mean, a little.
Mom, why'd you buy me green pants?
Wait, this was as a child?
No, I was like in high school when she still bought my clothes all the time. That happened, you know. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sorry that Cari wasn't here, but we have one of the next best things, Britter, and she got to hear my story, you know. So that was it. And if you guys have any questions, please let us know below. And just as a thank you, we've had a lot of new subscribers lately, so welcome to the channel. You're now campers. And you're part of our family, and we love you guys. And it should be, you know, back to Cari and I, or maybe just Cari tomorrow, who knows. With our schedules, it's pretty crazy these days, but I just want to take the time to tell you that story and to tell you thanks for everything. So thanks for following and sharing, subscribing, and anything.
Do it.
You want to do the clicky gun? Yeah?
I think you're good.
Okay. So Britter's going to be Cari. So I'm just going to say, I guess that's it, and we'll catch you on the flippity.